Last year, the UFC agreed to be sold to WME IMG for $4 billion. UFC President Dana White recently said, though, that UFC turned down a $5 billion offer. Dana added the following: one of the million things I respect about the Fertittas, they weren't just going to let this thing go for the money. They were going to make sure it went to somebody who could actually take it and bring it to the next level. So we are branding this 120 a what? What the? $1 billion is a lot of money. It may not seem like much when we say it or look at it on paper, $5 billion versus $4 billion. I mean, it's just $1 billion. But it's still $1 billion that they neglected or turned down because they thought this ownership group, WME IMG, was better for the future of the company. CT?
And that's the key. When you're selling something, it's not always just about the dollar amount. Okay. Dana White is connected with this. He has a stake in the UFC, and he knew that the next owners, he probably would still be a part of the UFC. He signed a new 5-year deal with WME IMG. So you want to make sure that your organization, your company, is in good hands.
Right.
Everything that you've worked to build, everything that you've invested a lot of years in, you don't want that to just crumble and go down the drain. Right. So we talk about they left $1 billion on the table. Understand the Fertitta brothers, they bought the UFC for $2 million, million with the M. So to go from $2 million to $4 billion, that's still a crazy ROI. You can't get that ROI on flipping houses, on the stock market, on anything. So WME, a well-known talent representation agency, you know, William Morris Endeavors. So what they did, they let a lot of their clients buy a small stake in the UFC. So guys like Cam Newton and ladies like Serena Williams, Tom Brady, a lot of them now have a small stake in the UFC. So maybe there could be some crossover appeal. Okay. You know, when you have athletes who have a stake in it, they're going to hype it up, and that can continue to help the company grow. So when you look at the whole business aspect of it, it makes a whole lot of sense why they chose the best offer, not necessarily the one to make them the most money. But $4 billion, I mean, come on, man.
Especially when you invest just $2 million to get that $4 billion in return. So for this 120, you don't think you should be scratching your head.
Not
you
at
think
all.
This is the prudent right move for the future of the UFC.
Sound business decision.